In 2010, a fisherman from Vancouver woke up to a sound that nobody else could hear. At first, he thought it was a dog whistle, then it was a dentist drill, and then it became something far worse. Doctors didn't know how to fix it, his family could not understand it, and this man was already carrying a tragedy from years earlier that no parent should ever have to confront. And soon this man found himself fighting not just a sound, but a pair of invisible monsters. And the strangest part was what eventually saved him. It wasn't medicine, it wasn't pills, it wasn't silence, but it was something far more profound. Before everything collapsed, this was the kind of man who found peace in the wild rivers. He fished salmon, breathed fresh mountain air, and lived a quiet life with his family. He wasn't perfect. He had lived through anxiety and panic attacks earlier in life, and years earlier, he held his 5-year-old son as he passed away in a tragic accident. It shattered him, but he survived. He rebuilt, he found joy again, and he thought nothing could possibly push him back into darkness. But he was wrong. You see, one morning, he woke up to a noise. A needle-thin, ultra-high-pitched shriek slicing through his skull. He checked alarms, fans, electronics. Nothing. He pressed his hands over his ears, but the sound got louder. And every day it grew. A dog whistle inside his head. A screaming metallic resonance. Like a laser beam cutting through the night. So loud he could hear it over jet engines on an airplane. So sharp it overpowered a roaring river he fished beside. He let his family listen to a sample of the pitch. They screamed, they covered their ears, they ran out of the room. And that's when he thought, if normal people can't stand 2 seconds of this, how am I supposed to live with it? Weeks later, something even stranger happened. Suddenly, every normal sound became painful. His wife's soft voice, dishes clinking, a car engine, the TV, conversations, even footsteps on hardwood floors. It didn't just hurt, it felt like glass slicing into his ears. He started wearing earplugs everywhere, but earplugs brought a new problem. When he blocked the outside world, the monster inside his head became deafening. Now he had 2 enemies. Tinnitus, the scream he couldn't escape, and hyperacusis, the world itself stabbing his ears. He described it as being trapped between 2 beasts who hated each other, and both were eating him alive. If this happened to a mentally stronger person, it would break them. But he wasn't starting from zero. He had decades of panic disorder. He had PTSD from losing his son. His nervous system was already weakened, and tinnitus slammed into him like a wrecking ball. Every morning he woke up to chest pain, heart palpitations, dizziness, migraines, tingling across his skull, adrenaline rushes, terror for no reason, nightmares, sweating, derealization, depression. He cried often. He hid in a quiet room. He avoided friends. He stopped fishing, traveling, socializing. He started thinking about the S word. He said, "How can anyone live with something unlivable? For life?" This was rock bottom. One night, after months of trying everything, a veteran on the tinnitus forum wrote something that changed everything. "I fight for a living, but tinnitus, I learned to not fight it. I learned to accommodate it." That word hit him like lightning. Accommodate, accept, adjust, adapt. For the first time he realized the sound wasn't the problem. His fear of the sound was. And fear is something you can train. He didn't take advice perfectly. He didn't improve overnight. But slowly, painfully, he started experimenting. He stopped resisting the sound. Instead of flinching, he acknowledged it. He even joked with it. "All right, tinnitus, you're crying again. I'm not giving you milk." It sounds ridiculous, but it works. It teaches the brain that the sound is not a threat. He slowly removed the earplugs. Hyperacusis brain needs exposure, like physical therapy for sound. It hurts, but he pushed through. One store trip at a time, one conversation at a time. He embraced positivity, not fakery, but strategy. He learned that positivity calms the nervous system. A calm nervous system reduces tinnitus suffering. Anxiety is fuel for tinnitus. Removing the fuel starves the fire. He practiced AAA. Accept, adjust, adapt. He stopped expecting quick recovery. He gave time. Time. Months passed. His hyperacusis faded. Quiet rooms stopped terrifying him. He slept more. He cried less. His panic attacks slowed. His brain reacted differently. And he woke up one morning, heard the tinnitus scream, and felt nothing. Not panic, not fear, not despair, just, oh, it's there. The sound hadn't changed at all, but he had. And once the brain stops treating tinnitus as danger, it fades into the background. The same way you forget the roar of airplanes when you're watching a movie. Today, this man goes fishing, travels, gardens, watches movies, eats out, plays guitar, volunteers, enjoys family, laughs, lives. The tinnitus is still loud, unbelievably loud. It screams as he types on the forum when he's sharing this story. But now, it's a paper tiger, a sound without power, a shadow without substance. And he says, good life can come back. Never say never. If a man with PTSD, panic disorder, severe tinnitus, and hyperacusis can do it, so can you. In the end, the man never escaped the sound. He escaped the fear of it. And once he did, the monster came back, nothing more than background noise. A bully with its teeth pulled out. This isn't just a story about tinnitus. It's a story about the human nervous system and the unbelievable things we can adapt to when we stop fighting ourselves. I remember when I first had tinnitus and I was thinking, oh my gosh, what if I don't habituate? And that thought from me sent me into a panic. But then once I started to walk the path of habituation, I started practicing mindfulness and meditating and thought journaling and thought reframing. I realized that I started to get better very quickly. And I was dealing with a panic attacks, chronic panic, derealization, depression, just like this guy from years earlier from trauma from my childhood. And once I recovered, I realized what my life's mission was it was to help people and give them this blueprint. And that's when I decided to build tinnitus.health, because it was the thing I wished I had. I wished I had a homepage, a place to go, something that understood how to get me to recover. So if you're curious about tinnitus.health, go check it out. There's a link in the description. Just click on the link in the description or type in tinnitus.health and see if it's right for you. I appreciate this channel so much. Thank you for watching the videos and supporting this channel. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.